So my weekend was very busy. I ministered in my home church. But when I leave church on Sunday, that is my time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't have that 24 hours after church on Sunday into the next day, that's time I want to be with my family, because they're my love, they're my energy. That being with my family feeds me. I don't work on any projects. I'm not worried about on Sunday night what's happening on Tuesday. I thought about that last week. I've already thought about that. That's on my master planner, and so I take naps. I spend time with my family. I laugh. I'm lazy.
Tell me about that master planner. I mean, I'm curious about that. That gives you the freedom to be lazy for that 24 hours after Sunday. What does that kind of look like? You're planning for the week ahead, kind of understanding what you have.
So my master planner is just laid out in front of me week by week. Every day of the week is on there. Priorities are listed, what I'm concerned about. And so I like color, so I have a color coding little thing going on, and probably just to entertain myself more than anything. But I feel like if there's something I need to remember, I don't want to keep carrying it in my brain, because that's just going to keep me distracted. So everything goes on this calendar plan. And whether it's 3 weeks or a month or whatever, 6 months down the road, it's there. And I do. So I take like the 24 hours, but usually on Monday evening after I feel like, okay, I don't have a set time, because if I'm, doing something, but before I go to bed on Monday evenings, I'm looking at the week. I'll pull it out and I'll go, okay, what is my week looking like? And, what do I need to be thinking about for the week? But then again, on Thursday evening or Friday, depending on if I'm flying out for the weekend or not, I review the next week. I review the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'll just flip through the pages and refresh it in my mind, make some notes of how I've updated, where I'm at, what's been done, what still needs to be done. So I don't ever feel like I'm just carrying it all in my brain or dropping things because I didn't know they were coming.
I find that to be extremely helpful for me. It's a little exercise I do on Sunday evening called Start of the Week Sight. Just kind of gives you some vision for your week.
Absolutely.
And sounds like you kind of do that same thing, and you just check in occasionally, and it helps you release those tasks and those things. And you have a podcast coming up, or you have to teach a class or whatever. You can kind of compartmentalize that a little better if you give vision to your week and understand what you have, and then you can rest for 24 hours if that's what's on your schedule. Without guilt.
I think one thing that happens a lot, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you can speak to this to me, but what about all those unexpected things? Like I have my beautiful calendar, I have my master plan, and then, then somebody's like throwing that meeting at you, like, oh, we need a department meeting, or this came up, or I need you to take this on. If people don't have a way of sorting that out, I would feel like I was drowning. I don't know. How do you handle those last minute? You have this great plan, and all of a sudden at the last minute, everybody's like throwing things at you. What do you do? I'm here. Talk to me.
Well, you're turning this back around on me. I want to know what you do.
That's right. I'm your guest.
I can tell you host a podcast as well.
Too much fun.
I do have, as a busy assistant pastor, I do have quite a bit of things that are given to me, at various times and emergencies and whatnot. One thing I'm very thankful I'm afforded at POA, a personal assistant, and so she can filter a lot of that stuff for me. Those things that are thrown at me, and sort of we have built-in times where we'll meet and talk about things. From the usually daily, we'll have a 30-minute here, hour here, where we talk through those things, and we can deal with those compartmentally versus them all just coming sporadically at me through the day. But I also have that as well for people that have my cell phone and things of that nature. And I have found that personally, I've just got to build in a little bit of margin in my day to
Right.
deal with those things. And so I may have to push them off for a couple of hours, but I'll deal with it at some point in the day and talk through it. But it's, sometimes, and reality of it is sometimes I just have to tell people I'm sorry, I can't get to it now, but after. And I use, same thing with my marriage or, whatever. If I'm not in a appropriate place to deal with something in that moment, I would love to be able to deal with that, but I just can't right now. Can we talk about this, at such and such time or after dinner or after,
Well,
we
and
finish this?
I think one of the things that helps me is that the key word is margin. When I look at a
Yeah.
day and I'm having to ride all around all the edges to get it in, I know that's not realistic, and I'm going to let myself down. I'm going to let others down. So not overscheduling ourselves is really important. Knowing that the unexpected and the unplanned is going to invade our life.
Yeah.
If we want to have some kind of rhythm and balance to life, it is to say this is going to happen. So breathing room is a necessity, but also just being able to say no. I would love to just having the ability to
Yeah.
understand I'm not in a place where I can do anything about this and just be guilt free that I'm saying no.